For the first DIY, you will need an embroidery hoop, some needles, and some thread, and I got all of these things at Michael's. And then also you're going to need some fabric. I ended up just cutting a pair of old sweatpants and using the fabric from the leg of it, and this worked a lot better than the other fabric I was originally going to use. So the first thing that you're going to do is place your fabric in between the embroidery hoop just by loosening it up and then putting it back together and tightening up the embroidery hoop again. The next thing that I did was trace a picture of a pacifier that I had printed out and cut out, and I drew the rest on to the fabric. So you're going to take your first piece of embroidery floss and cut it to the length you want to start with, and I forgot to show this part, but embroidery floss is actually made up of 6 different parts, so you're going to split those 6 parts up and just use one of the strands at a time. So you're going to take that strand and thread it through the needle and then tie a knot, and also make sure to tie a double or triple knot at the end of the thread. So you basically just pull the thread up from the back side and stitch it a little bit further away, and then keep repeating this over and over, making stitches right next to each other. And if you're confused, you can look up tutorials on YouTube. Be with Emery has a video that really helped me, so yeah. So I just kept repeating this, and then once you're done with the color, you just start with a new color. Pretty self-explanatory. Make sure to tie it once you finished, and yeah, I'm just gonna show you my progress throughout the time I spent making this. So after I had finished embroidering, I just took off the embroidery hoop and then cut out the patch as closely as I could. Lastly, I just applied some Mod Podge to the back side of the patch to make sure that all the thread was secure. And after it dries, you can put it on jeans or a jacket or whatever you want. I just ended up putting it on a white baseball hat, and yeah. So for the next DIY, I decided to make the board game that Melanie can be seen playing at the beginning of the Pacify her music video. And for this, you will need some white paper, some colored paper. I chose to use purple, pink, and blue, a pencil or some kind of writing tool, some scissors, a glue stick, some washi tape or anything circular that you can trace, and some markers. First, I combined the pink, purple, and blue paper into one stack, and I traced around the bigger washi tape 5 times to make 5 circles, and I cut them out. Next, I traced around the smaller washi tape 5 times, and I cut those smaller circles out as well. The next thing that I did was cut out an oval from a piece of paper and write the name of the game, which is Funny Bunnies. After I finished, I colored it in with markers. And then I glued it onto the white sheet of paper. The next thing that I did was arrange all the circles in order. So I just kind of tried to copy the way that Melanie had it in her video, but I kind of made mine too big, so I just ended up doing my own thing. But anyway, after that, I just glued them all on. And I actually ended up tracing some even smaller circles, so I made like miniature versions of the larger circles that I had before, and I glued those onto the board as well. And finally, I just wrote start and finish on the start and finish of the board. And after that, you're done. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to tell me in the comments down below what Melanie videos you want to see next.